we're going to pretend like we were right on time. Everybody with it? Let's get it. Let's see how this goes. Yeah. Of course, we're not late. We're never late. We are right on time because we're always on time. Always on time whenever you call. All right, as we wait for everybody to catch up with the TikTok experience. Yeah, as I get strike after strike. Yeah, I just posted a video, so I guess it might take. Yeah, okay. Guess we're live now. There we go. I don't know what takes so long on TikTok, but I don't know. Gotta do something about this. Mm, okay. We're gonna do something. Gonna do something. It's intense. Can we turn this one down? Can y'all still see me? If I turn that down. All right, I'm live. Okay, okay, I'm live now. Talk to you later. I am not late, and if I am late, um, it's a combination of Chef Cliff and Renee's fault. That's if I'm late. That's if I'm late. Yes, but I'm not late. It is 10 o'clock Eastern. It's 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, and you can set your watch by me not being late. Yeah, that's right, right? That's right. All right. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Come on in. Hello, everybody. Greetings, salutations. You know what time it is. I am TNathan, and you're listening to Conversations with TNathan. Yeah, we're back on the regular schedule. Got all of the women of the movement out the way. Last week, we talked about some things about what unfolded in Selma, and now we're back on track. And Selma is a forethought, never an afterthought. My ship to the deep south has really reinforced some things I believed in, and you'll see them coming out. So, how's everybody else? Regular schedule beginning late, and I've known Petra more than I've known a lot of y'all, and she knows I'm never late. Petra knows I'm never late. Never that. Never me. Look, and listen, I want to tell you something. Petra and I used to host a podcast. And we used to host a podcast, and we would be out. And at the last minute, we'll remember we have a podcast to do. And then we would find some place to do the podcast. So I know she's not talking to me about being late. Yeah. We did podcasts from everywhere. And he's talking about I'm late. I'm just as late as she's ever been to a podcast. Now, mm, think we'll straighten that because I have forgot about that. Oh no. You don't get to forget. You don't forget to forget. Yeah, yeah. Come in here talking about I'm late, and then I listen. So don't make me tell it. Greetings, Tammy. Greetings, Olivia. I'm trying to figure out where did we get this schedule. Look, I say between 10 and 10:15, we're not late. And you all know I be doing things at the last minute. I don't even see what that's a problem. Yeah, just set your clocks. And every day just set your clocks according to when I come on. And if you're late to work, I think something you need to probably get a new clock that keeps up with time because you're losing time on your clock. I just finished watching the Willie Lynch story with my son. We're gonna have to talk about the Willie Lynch story and the Willie Lynch letters because Willie Lynch is the same kind of personality that Sun Tzu was. Willie Lynch was not an actual person. I know. I know. People like to believe that, but Willie Lynch was not an actual person any more than Sun Tzu was an actual person. But that doesn't mean that the let the letters and the amalgamation of the thoughts of white plantation owners are not represented in the Willie Lynch letters. Um, Good, because the mentality is the same. I have notification on all that works. So even if you're late, I'll show up. Get it out your mind that I'm late. This lateness is just bringing my vibe. I can't even get that out with a straight face. No problem. Don't be one of his mods and be 1 minute late. He gonna call you out. I'm gonna call you on the phone. Yes, heavenly. It is good. No, don't get me wrong. I have the Willie Lynch letters also. It just make sure we understand that this is not the. But Willie Lynch is a representation of the mentality that was used at the time. It's not any one person, but it's easier to put it in that phrase, and also it lends itself to the idea that whiteness is all encompassing, and instead of an amalgamation. But the Art of War does the same thing with Sun Tzu also. The Art of War does the same thing with Sun Tzu, and I will talk about that. I'll talk about. I haven't talked about Willie Lynch letters in a while, and there's a reason for it, but I will get back in. I will do it. How did they finance their conquest with cotton, sugar, and tobacco when it was grown around the world? Actually, they didn't finance their conquests with cotton, sugar, and tobacco. Um, they financed their with rum. I know what you mean. It's the triangle trade, and it's the idea that their conquest was complete before the transatlantic slave trade. Um, it was profitable. It was profitable, and yes, it was grown. So a lot of those things were grown around the world, but it's more profitable when your labor is free on black art. When your labor is free, your profit rating increases exponentially. And once the initial purchase of enslaved people was paid, everything that they did for years, not just a season, was free. Mm. Yeah, that too, but the most extensive trade that was never trade because Columbus didn't find massive quantities of gold, no matter how much he slaughtered or tortured the indigenous people on the islands that he visited, because he never stepped foot in North America proper. But that is now they did ship gold back, a lot of it also, but they shipped a lot of gold here also. That's why you find Cougaron and gold plated coins at the bottom of the Bermuda, off the coast of Bermuda, when these ships crashed. But the trade was enslavement, and enslavement made everything on in this hemisphere profitable. Yeah, so it's really you don't think it was gold in those cities they found in the 1900s? Oh, I'm not starting at the 1900s. For one, I understand. I'm not starting at the 1900s. I'm starting at the 15th century. So you're talking about 400 years after it had been massively profitable. But history is my thing. History is one of my things. So yes, I had no idea it was 8 o'clock. I am loopy late. Yes, yes. But yeah, I know people also like to get the idea that enslavement only gold was profit. It was also icing on the cake. Enslavement was about power, but because of the way a lot of people believe the argument is based from a Western civilization standpoint, they don't look at it from the power dynamic of conquest. They make the flaw that a lot of you all do and always make this argument: it's about profit, it's about power. And the power to enslave is intoxicating. All right. So moving right along from that, like I say, welcome to Conversations with TNathan, where everything I say I can point to a book that backs it up or the oral research. So, yep, power and control, right? All that, all that's still about power and control. Black heart, okay. You're caught up in the materialistic. I get it. It is a manifestation, and I'm just saying that it's not the only manifestation. So, and I don't believe in intellectual arguments without intellect. Um, anybody gonna tell them? Anybody gonna tell them? Anybody gonna tell them we're not living in a hyper what if environment? We're living in the reality. Oh, His assignment in class was about St. Patrick's Day, and he submitted the Willie Lynch letter. Like that already. That was a great submission. That was a great submission. Yeah, heavily. That was great. I don't like this. We twinning. Y'all see Bella is here. Bella is back here. No, it's not a fight. It's not a fight, Jay. It's just a simple mentality adjustment that most people look at it from the fact of pure profit and think that's the motivation. But I'm not dealing with hypotheticals. I'm dealing with what is, because um, it shows the difference in the mentality of, if you look at it as pure profit, then you can overlook the ethical violations that occurred. And a lot of people still want that because they don't want to acknowledge. It's just like, I put it this way, it's just like SA or grape. They think they talk about the sexual aspect of it, but it's about control also. And anybody who understands that, as a person that has been on that side, understands that it's about control, not the act of sex itself. It's about control. So enslavement was about control. The profit margin just made it um, the icing on the cake. What's up, Steve? I'm good. How are you doing? Yeah, I know. Thank you. Thank you. And we, because no, it was control. The cake was controlled. The money and the finance was the icing of the cake. So it was about. It's like I don't even know how to. I've had this conversation ad nauseum, and we keep coming back to it. Where I can also prove that if it was just about money, then racism wouldn't exist among poor white people. Yeah, it wouldn't exist among poor white people if it was just about money. But it was a fall. It was also a carry on from the indentured servitude of European society under the aristocrat that these white people got to see. It's like, hey, we, because they were treated badly until such time as they became white and they had met black and brown people from other societies that they enslaved. So anyway. Yes, good. Apologies for taking you out of your point. No, Heavenly, that was not a anytime. I'm always here to talk about uh, the next generation and what they need to understand. Oh no, you didn't take me out of point at all. You just lend to it. Not out of point. I told you. We're back to my blinding political analysis and social analysis of situations. So no, that was not a taking out of point. It's interesting because someone else was talking to me about Willie Lynch yesterday, and a Zoom I was in, and I was breaking it down to them also. So I find it synchronicity going with talking about it first thing today. I also wanted to talk about today, um, and this let me. This is why hypothetically, if I was late, I would have been late because I was making a video about Israel. I can't, and I drunk all my water. I was making a video that Israel, surprise, surprise, just broke the ceasefire by the most intensive airstrike since January 19th that is presently still underway in Gaza right now. So I had to make a video because I was trying to reach Jill Stein and see if she had any comment, or Kanye, or I call him Kanye West. It was supposed to, I don't know. I have to look at the video. Somebody go look at the video and see if I call that man Kanye West when his name is Cornell West. Um, he keeps saying if. Jay, Jay, I will go on my account and beat you up. Yes, I keep saying if because if is applicable. If I was late, nah, yeah. So what's up, Robert? Nice to see you. I see you in the comment section when you're supposed to be in live. Where you been? But yeah, Israel just broke the ceasefire again. Surprise, surprise, because Israel has broken every ceasefire agreement that has ever been in existence since they have been Israel. So they have 30 people already reported dead, and of course, most of them are children. And yeah, so I posted a video where I was trying to find Jill Stein or Cornell West for comment, and I didn't find them. And I was like, as a matter of fact, I haven't even heard anything from those communities that said we black people were not welcome in those communities if we didn't vote for their candidate. So I tried to find. I haven't seen anything. If y'all see anything, let me know. But at this point, I haven't seen anything from them. So I ended my newscast. It is heartbreaking. Don't get me wrong. I can be critical of the voters and understand something. I think people can't. It's like holding. Their cognitive dissonance doesn't work, or they can't hold two thoughts that other people think are conflicting at the same time. But when you're not a binary thinker, you can. I can be very critical of those people who told us we weren't welcome in their community if we didn't vote for their candidate because they predicated it on what happens in Gaza, and then their candidate is nowhere to be found when things are unfolding in Gaza because nobody in Gaza voted. No, in this election, I am critical of the Muslim community that supports Donald Trump and those who said that we were not welcome. Based on that, with also feeling that the what Israel is engaging in is still a humanitarian crisis and violation. Yeah. So yeah, they disappeared faster. Jill Stein was, you know, I like I say, has anybody seen her in the news? I haven't. I've been looking for them high and low and came right. And that's why I said whatever assistance I want to, or even the way I want to approach this situation dealing with Gaza, I'm not asking for anybody's help that has shown us that, you know, we were not welcome or how. Yes, I am still the same TNathan that is lividly and violently against the violence that's being inflicted upon Gaza. But I'm also the same TNathan that's not going to be joining people who I think really don't care about Gaza because they were quiet in the face of Donald Trump saying he was going to level it, and they are quiet in the face of the bombs going off there now. Also, today I posted a video about the Congo, and for all you people who said you all are sitting out the next 4 years, and reminded them that the Congo received 70% of its humanitarian aid from USAID, and there are going to be tens of thousands of children that die in the Congo over the next few months because that aid has been cut off. But I know when you continue to hold 12-hour lives, 12-hour day lives about arguing with Trump supporters that you're not going to do anything about what you're arguing with them over, and can't find 5 minutes to mention what is happening in Gaza, in Ghana, I'm sorry, in the Congo, Sudan, or Haiti. Right. So I think one of the things, even though you all know I felt this way before, one of the things about going to the South, especially talking to those foot soldiers from 1965, was I have even more disdain for anybody saying they're going to sit out for the next 4 years. Like the damage done in the next 4 years, they're really going to do anything to undo after that if they're able to. Yeah, I have disdain for that. So if that's one of you, if that's if you are one of those people, yes, I have disdain for you. Make a video about me and put and tag me in it, and I'll address it. That's my philosophy. Make a video about what I said and tag me in it, and I promise you I will respond to that video. Yeah, I will, and I will make the disdain real. They only care about the fetus after they only care about the fetus. Okay, I guess I just missed that. They ran like Johnny Depp should have run from Amber, right? The parking lot. They only care about, oh, there it is, the fetuses after they don't care about. They don't care about fetuses. It's the whole thing is still about control. They care about control, and I think the manifestation of that control is in like you say, it's about it's almost like China in reverse, if you really want to know. We're going to get to the point where white men want white men children. They want more of them. They don't like their numbers. They don't like their prospects for the future. So even this is just about control. They understand that minorities are more likely to die during childbirth than white women, and they also want more white children. Yeah, that's what you're watching unfold. Where else? Hey man, everybody has a place. Just find yours and stay in it. What are you talking about? I would like to know what in reference did I say that that comment was for. My name is not man. It's literally up here. It's TNathan. That's the Patreon. So I would like to know what that comment is exactly in reference to that I said. Me too. Also, how you're going to sit out when he just enacted the Alien in Enemies Act, and that's part of the thing. I'm gonna show you how you segue because that is actually on my board. I have it already up, and we're going to talk about it later. What it is and what it isn't, and what it says that we're reaching back to 1798 and enacting an act, and those people who are sitting out don't understand the ramifications of it. So we're going to talk about that too. I got it up on the board, so you segued into that fine. Um, they care about controlling women. They care about controlling, right? They are terrified of women. Yes, they are terrified of women coming into their power. Keeping anti keeping anti-fetus hospitals running negative and disproportionate affects smaller demographics. Who told you that? Who told you that? Because the large this is the funny part when I hear people make these arguments, and especially Christians, and I say who's responsible for the most anti-fetus abortions in the world? Who's responsible for the most abortions in the world? Christians. That would be your God. It amazes me that we just overlook those stats. So they want to be Christians and say God cares, but God aborts more fetuses every year than the entire combined abortion cycle in the world. Yeah, God. Your God, the same God you all say cares so much. Your God aborts a lot of fetuses in every species of animal. So, um, my name is not Buddy either, motherfucker. Yeah, my name's not Buddy. I don't know. My name is literally up here if you want to. This is why I tell you I don't engage in intelligent conversation with people when only one person has any intelligence. Um, and then when I get to ad hominems, they be like, "Oh, I don't have anything but ad hominems for you because your basis of reality is warped by your views of alternative realities. Who is the majority? We cherry pick numbers, and that's why your position is invalid. What numbers did I cherry pick? I, what numbers did I cherry pick? God created your God is the author of more abortions than anybody or anything on this planet. I mean, there's a section in the Christian Bible that tells you how to mix an elixir to cause abortions. So stop playing with me. Oh, leave my little sister alone. Who messed with you? Wait a minute. Did I miss something? Wait a minute. I missed something. What did he? What happened? Hold on. Yeah. Okay. What did he say? He said something dismissive to Olivia J. Because that's the deal breaker. I'm agnostic. Sick assumption though. Some people don't believe in water. That doesn't mean they won't drown if they fall into it. My claim still stay that nat okay as agnostic. Nature aborts more children than anybody or anything on the planet does. Yeah. What in entire hell is he talking about? Shay, he thought he was in one of those other lives. He didn't realize. Yeah, I eviscerate. I don't play with my food. I eviscerate it. Yeah, thank you. It's hard to listen to trolls, etc. They don't need The airtime. Big Mama, I know. I hope you're not new here, but it's not that they get airtime; they get eviscerated for the educational lessons that other people who are listening that might be on the verge of some of their ideology. If I eviscerate it, I'm also eviscerating it in them. They're just learning tools, steps. I'm not trying to change their mind at all, but I also get tired of people telling me what to spend my time on when educating our community is one of the things I'm good at. And to also understand, in all due respect, that letting them go unchallenged is also part of the problem. Like, see, being in the South, and I learned that black people are too quick to not challenge people where they are. No, I challenge them, then be ready to fight afterwards. So no, it's nothing I can't say that I can't back up, but I also back it up because I want my people to be able to eviscerate these same talking points by learning and paying attention. Yeah, I joined late. I want to hear about the people sitting out. I'm on the fence myself about it. Well, I'll address that again because sitting out is not an option for true revolutionaries. And see, I just get resentful when I hear people call themselves revolutionaries or activists, and their revolutionary activist idealism is to sit out of anything for the next 4 years, especially when sitting out, like, do you understand the amount of damage that will be done to our community in just 4 years? If it was just 4 years, but to sit out is to imply that you have no power to do anything in the face of this administration. And while I'm not asking you to save people that fall out in the middle of the aisle on the airplane from their heart attack, what I'm saying is if you sit back and do nothing and account for people like me having to save everybody on the plane so we can get off, I'm not going to be too kind after we get off the plane where all of a sudden you want to engage in the benefits of us landing the plane and getting off while also doing nothing to help us land the plane and get off because you're all in favor of the plane crashing. And then most of the people that are in favor of the plane crashing can't survive a crash. So, no, I am not. I am not in favor of allowing a plane I am on to crash because in the process I might save somebody else that's on the plane. My commitment is to the community, that we need to get off the plane. And just because that's crazy to me to sit back and allow a plane that I am on to crash when I have the power to stop it from crashing long enough to get off of it. So being on the fence about that is meaning you're doing nothing, and you're on the fence because activism requires action for one, and revolutionary requires resistance and not just opposition. So yeah, I do. I feel that way. I feel that way, and talking to those foot soldiers from 1965 just reinforced the way I feel because none of them are sitting out, and none of them are sitting out. Like I say, they wanted to march over. They were like, if you, I decided to march over to the golf course, they were coming with me. But of course, I told them I got it because they have done enough. It's different when you have done the work for over 60 years. Then, of course, I got it. I got you. But when you when I listen to people talk about they're sitting out, and I haven't seen them at any protest that I have been to, and if you follow me, you know I've been to a lot. I haven't seen them at any protest. I didn't see any of these people talking about their sitting out because all of the people I was with that I still have contact with, we're talking about, resistance and not just opposition. We have plenty of plane crashes happening right now. Stop it, Petra. Oh my God, thank you for explaining this. I've had so much pushback about wanting to take action. No, a true revolutionary never allows anybody to stop them from taking action. Sitting out is not an option. Sitting out is only an option for those who were never sitting in the first place. I thought to sit out, but then realized I couldn't do it. Good. The people that sit out in my life never showed up for a protest or a phone call to a congressman. Right, Shay, and we've talked about that. It's like if you, it is no way that I could live the life I have lived and decided one election, well, no matter the turnout, was going to make me sit out. And I always draw on the fact that my mother and my grandmother, my father, This was in Mississippi. So, we lost lots of elections in Mississippi. But we also realized that sitting out would only ensure that we turned over unbridled power to the people in office. And we resisted well, our resistance was the benchmark or the bulwark against total annihilation of our communities, right? Because you all are making the assumption that a democracy, and people who follow me know I'm not a fan of democracy, but I'm a less fan of chaos or anarchy, because from that we'll just repeat a system in which the marginalized groups are just oppressed and suppressed by the stronger group, and then we just start this cycle over again. It's really too much for me to sit out. I haven't been on a plane since I was in final. Shut up, Olivia. Stop it. There are different ways to resist. Protesting is one, boycotting is another, and going live as you do. No, I don't go live 12 hours a day. I just go live because I broadcast my radio show. But no, resistance is about action. There, let's take, like, most people will use those ways as a hallmark to really do nothing. Let's talk about protest. Protest is great to draw attention. Protests are meant to draw attention to a situation or a topic. Resistance is what you do in resistance to that protest. Like, hypothetically speaking, if somebody that looked like me was in a protest and a building caught on fire, the protest would be the awareness. The building burning to the ground, like a Target or something, would be a resistance to what we're talking about, the capitalist system that always like people are talking about boycotts. The last effective boycott in this country was in 1955, and it was conducted in Montgomery, Alabama. The last truly successful boycott in this country was done in 1955 in Montgomery, the Montgomery bus boycott, because they stood unified throughout the point and they got change. Now, I said this the other day when I realized that we were supposed to be that people were supposed to be protesting Target for 40 days, and I realized that they coincided the protest of Target to go with Lent. And if you're Catholic, you know what Lent was from Ash Wednesday, right? And I thought that was interesting. Bella, sit down. Sit down, or get on the bed. All right, and they protest, and it's like I thought that was very interesting. That's a telling sign for one. You synchronized your protest to be a, but it was also selective. And there's a whole list of things that you can do or go during this protest. But if you're not addressing the system of profiteering and capitalism, in which capitalists will profit off of anything and everything, you're not really addressing the system. You're just doing some legwork, because 40 days, no, the Montgomery boycott, bus boycott, lasted for a year, over a year, and they stuck together. When you have people like Tabitha Jones, who has, you know, product in Target, telling us as black people that we should just go to Target and support them, I'm like, is Target making any money off of this product? Because Target doesn't care where the money comes from, as long as it's going to come. I can't afford to sit out. I have a black son, and my mama didn't raise me like that. Neither did I. Protesting in the streets is dangerous right now, especially with him talking about police immunity. March 7th, 1965 was dangerous also. And every one of those foot soldiers I talked to about that day said they would do nothing differently, even knowing how it would turn out. So dangerous. Every Petra, do they know? Do they understand? I go looking for danger. I'm one of the. Listen, I have protested with Mississippi Rising at a point when they couldn't stand me, but I was there to protect them because it was dangerous. They couldn't stand me, but we still showed up because they needed. I was there to beat up. I was there to fight. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah, it don't matter what you need. Hold on, just a minute, y'all. And then you got the Google. So I am set for a minute. What about the
Oh yeah, that stuff too. That's just I can only do that to people that I know that like are going home afterwards.
okay?
Because I had got stuff with a gal that I went to drop off today, but she wasn't gonna be home,
So you could.
so I couldn't set it outside because I didn't know when she's gonna be
What
home.
about the ones that restriction with the bond?
The bottom's ours,
Oh,
and everything else sits in the
and the
bag.
bag. Yeah. So good. I'm going to add. How many you got? David? You have any extra?
I have probably not. I haven't followed back up with everybody that messaged me. After I wanted to see with the first group, how much I was gonna have here. So I plan on trying to help 7 more families. I think I have enough.
Okay. Uh, get back to them right quick. Yeah. I'm still some water. You can get out of my seat. All right. All right. I'm back. Yeah. All right. We're Bella, you can stay out there. Go play. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, but we were getting to the fact where the bestie was showing me the plans for helping out families in the area, and we just got some stuff in. So she was going over that with me. So, because that's what we do. So, this is the compromise. You all know that life happens, and of course, we're busy. So, we're got some stuff for families in the area that are experiencing food insecurity or just helping single mothers out. That's her thing. And she was showing it. And I would have took the camera with me, but of course I'm on the computer. So that's what we're doing basically. So, and when we spread out, of course, y'all know we're in Kansas and we're just trying to do everything we can because activism requires action. Revolutionary behavior requires revolutionary action. So you can't ask people to fight that are fighting on empty stomachs. And the bestie, she knows what it's like to be a single mother. So, of course, we're going to do that. As always, I'll see what I can do. Thank you. I thank you. But like I say, she's gonna do this regardless. We appreciate it. But it's like when you commit to something, you have to understand. I try to inspire people um, to understand that this is something we can deal with. We can't. We've seen that we can't depend on our government to do this. So we must do this ourselves, and I'm humbled and honored that I have a bestie that also understands that I can't be trusted with money to go out in my pocket. Yes, I can't be. She tells you I cannot be trusted to go out with cash, and it looks like she can't be trusted to go out to the grocery store. Also, so when you, I am fortunate. I'm fortunate, and I realize a lot of things I thought I've needed in life in the past, I don't. So, giving back to the community is not just a idea in this house; it is a reality. Whatever I don't, I but. And she also gets on me. She has to tell me these things because I will pick up a box of fruit roll ups and eat the whole box. So she has to make sure I understand what's going out and what's coming in. So if that's the part you heard, um, yeah. So that's what we're going to be. That's what she's up to, going off, and it also, yes, I got to do something to make sure she doesn't get upset with me because she gets upset with me a lot. We She gets upset that I try. She gets upset that I am annoying because I always want her to be happy, and she gets annoyed because I won't let her rest, trying to make sure. Have you eaten today? Are you all right? But to be fair, she does the same thing to me, but it just doesn't annoy me enough. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because she also on book reading day, she is nowhere to be found until after the book is read.
It is the type of annoying that most people would love to have.
Unless, of course, you have done this all on your own for so long, it can be annoying. And that's the thing with both of us. We have been so used to be doing everything in in our activism and our personal lives on our own that when we get together, it's like, yeah, she wants to take care of me, I want to take care of her, and she winds up being annoyed more than I wind up being annoyed. Yeah. I'm protective, and that annoys her too. But she still has to deal with the protectiveness. She can get over on everything else, but when we go out in public, she knows. He's like, yeah. But if somebody beats me up, I have no problem that she can handle it. Also, it's not many people that are gonna beat me up. I don't. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. Petra would tell you that it's not many people that I am going to just lay down for and get beat up. Yeah, Petra and I used to go out, and I used to do this. I used to push her back too. It's like get back, and Petra would have a gun, and I'd push her back. Yeah, but right, exactly. That's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So, um, I wanted to touch briefly on the Alien Enemies Act. I told you I want to talk about, and this is rooted. Understand the Alien Enemies Sedation Act is from from 1798, and has only been enacted three times in this country's history. You taking Bella? Go Bella. Yeah. And it's only been enacted three times in our country's history. And all three of those times, the War of 1812, of World War One, and World War Two. And when you talk about internment camps, this is what you're talking about. This is the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. And that is what Donald Trump has reached back in history and grabbed to try to justify the deportation of and I don't know, and I say this, but you haven't even proven that it's these are the people you're going to use it against. You know what happened in World War II and World War One when we did this? We built concentration camps, and the last ones we paid reparations to for Japanese Americans that were in these internment camps, and this is the act that was used. And now Trump is going into war. And this is the thing about it and people have tried to read this, and I watch Republicans bending themselves up into pretzel shapes trying to justify the use of this act. And the main thing is that we're not at war. That's a big part of this act. It says during wartime. So this is what I was trying to explain to people why Donald Trump wants to go to war with the cartel because the act is about government. So he's trying to go to a war with the cartel and to make them on that level of threat. And to use this in the manner he's trying to say there's a war on fentanyl and drugs and all these things, right? And this is how he's using it and gang activity. But this is the thing. 10 minutes. It's Monday, right? It's Monday. So give me to 11:15. Give me someone give me a check at 11:15, and let's see where I am in this discussion, and then we'll decide. But this is the thing. If we allow the use of this act, this is what I tell you when people say they're sitting back and doing nothing and just watching. These every step, every reach back in history, this act that he grabbed from 1798 was before the end of slavery in this country. You do understand that, right? This is so. If we start to sit silently back as Donald Trump reaches back in history and grabs things like this to use in this modern era in any kind of way, shape, or form, where does it stop? Where does it stop? Why do we still give time warnings? We all know Unc never gonna start. It does help me, Olivia. It helps me with especially when I told DJ I would be off by a certain time. But it's Monday. I never tell him I'll be off on Monday because I know I have a lot to talk about from the weekend. Um, Sit back and get yeah. Yeah, I mean 11:15 Central Standard Time, 12:15 Eastern Time, and whatever it is around the world. And like I said, if it's at a place I can stop, I also make sure of that. But that's what you saw. So when you allow the reaching back, when you just say nothing because you think this affects other people like Haitians and Nigerians or not black people, or how it affects the diaspora in general, and you're saying as black people you're sitting back, or as anybody else is like, let it burn. You're not just sitting back because let me tell you something in your quest to sit back. The billionaire oligarchy is going to be just fine. You understand? They're going to be just fine. If Elon Musk lose half his wealth, he's still going to be the richest man in the world. And wealth in that, when you get to those stratospheric amounts, are just about your influence of control. Elon, I think that's why I tell people when they talk about wealth and they talk about money as the motivation of something, I tell you they're willing to lose money because the control factor is still the same. When you're the president of the United States, you don't have to be the richest person in the world. Everything is given to you, everything falls at your feet as long as you maintain the control. The president, Donald Trump, is not the richest person in the world. Elon Musk is. But Donald Trump is one of the most powerful people in the world. They voted for Trump, voted for him to do everything to marginalize people that he is doing to them. Yes, and that is true. He won't stop. It leads up to further kidnapping and building encampments. And that is what I'm getting at, Heavenly. That people that don't understand, they talk about they're going to do something in 4 years. No, you're going to be in a concentration camp at this rate if you don't put up any resistance. I don't, not opposition, because Chuck Schumer and the Democratic leadership is just oppositional talk. They're not resistance, except for people like Jasmine Crockett, um, senator from Maryland, another black woman, um, and a few others are resistance. But most of the Democratic Party are just opposition, and they have no leadership. They have no leadership that is going to stand up to Donald Trump. There is no, and people are like, we can't let the government shut down. Well, why couldn't we? And that goes back to why I say the most, I don't have, it's historically proven, the most significant and successful boycott in this country's history was the Montgomery boycott, because they were willing to do whatever it takes to make the system understand that without us you don't prosper. But in this case, the systems are so diverse that it takes a collective will that we don't have. So those of us who are fighting, we have to make sure we resist everything, and that's why I say I will be resenting everybody who didn't resist when we get out of this, because you're going to enjoy the fruits of the resistance while you sat back and did nothing and then want to come out and claim like it was all you all the time. And that's some BS. Al Green is a Representative Al Green from New York. Yeah, he's a representative. He's in the House of Representatives. The senator I'm talking about is also Brooke. Senator also Brooke. She's from Maryland. It won't stop. It won't stop. It's a lead up to further kidnapping. Oh yeah, I spread that. Sitting back gives them more. Right, Steve. That's what I try to tell people. The less resistance you face, the more power you're able to build up. Which is how the mustache guy was able to do what he did. Exactly, and that's what people don't realize. I'm not. I'm not talking about hurt feelings. I'm drawing from history. I can draw from history. I don't even have to go back as far as the mustache guy. I can go back to Jim Crow. I can go back to um, I can go back to coming out. I can come out of Reconstruction. I can go back to this 1968. I don't have to go back to 1939 when Mustache Man walked into Poland and nobody resisted. They just were oppositional talk, but that let him know what we're dealing with. And that's why you can't even depend on world leaders to push back against Donald Trump because of the idealisms of America as a country. Because we're not causing enough resistance in the country to show them that they shouldn't be worried. Yeah, they shouldn't be worried because at the end of the day, they're not showing any resistance except on a small level. Now, what may make them show more resistance is Putin marching into Ukraine and declaring victory because Putin won't stop at the Ukraine, just like he didn't stop at Crimea, and he didn't stop at Georgia. And that's what I say. History shows this. But people have deluded themselves into believing that sitting back and doing nothing in the face of tyranny is somehow an answer. And I've never gotten an answer to my video. I told them to tag me in it, but no one ever answered my video. When has being silent in the face of oppression ever worked? When has it ever worked? All right. Jay is giving me a countdown. GCPR. We have approximately 15 minutes. And especially relevant because the GCPR network is a worldwide network for me, and I have a large listening base in Europe where I'm speaking to. That's why you will see us talk in these terms because I have people in Romania listening to this show, and they tell me, and they contact me, email me, and tell me you were spot on from that perspective. And I found a lot of Americans don't have a perspective of geopolitics or how things actually work. That's why so many people believe tariffs were being paid by other countries because not only did they not pay attention in in middle school, I guess, but they don't know how to do research. Um, hey, goddess, we are pawns in the eyes of the rich and powerful. No, Stephen, no, we're not. A pawn is a voluntary piece. Um, to think of it in terms of chess, you have to think in terms that everything is voluntary. The back and forth, the strategy is from two sides. This is not a two-sided thing when you look at it. If we were just pawns in they're MAGA supporters are pawns. They're pawns to the plans of those that, like Steve Bannon and Steve Miller, and Donald Trump is a pawn in that game also. The resistance is about is not the pawn. Resistance are not pawns. To look at it as we are pawns would be saying that we are voluntarily in ignorance or in apathy, allowing ourselves to be moved on the board. No, the resistance of revolution does not move on the board at the whim of the rich and powerful. And that's why, if we're not in mass, that individually we do have an uphill battle. But resistance is about attacking the pawns, attacking every structure of their manipulation that you can. Um, the house I want needs work and I love it. What in the hell are you talking about? Yeah, yeah, you're in the wrong live. Um, so we're not. The resistance is not pawns. That's the problem. The resistance is the only thing that keeps the game from being won easily. We're not pawns. All over the world, people are uprising, but many are too comfortable thinking this will blow over. Right, because for too long, the resistance was not led, the resistance wasn't truly led by revolutionaries, and therefore it was just opposition. Because you remember, I always talk to you all about the plight of marginalization being led by those who are into compromise. See, revolutionaries do not compromise with our liberty. There is no compromise with liberty. It's either totally is total liberty, or whatever else is enslavement. So, I've given this example before. Moderates will tell you to be patient, and most of the time they follow the directive of white liberals. They will tell you to be patient. They will listen to white liberals. White liberals will tell them, like, we just need to get here and we'll be all right. No, you will be all right. We will still be in the same place in respect to you. But moderates will come into the communities of marginalized people at the will of those white liberals who believe that they are fighting for our liberation, but they're only fighting for their own comfortability, and tell us that we need to be patient. But at the moment when we were fighting with them, everything was urgent. You all remember the first Trump administration when the we had the pussy hats on, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is urgent. Everybody needs to be in Washington tomorrow, and we need to be doing this and we need to be doing that," and that was fine. But as soon as it got to a place of perceived safety, everything else was, let's enjoy the gains that we got. Let me put this down because, let's enjoy the gains that we got, and we'll work on you all's complaints with our newfound power. You all had power for years, and still you let us get to this point because you didn't codify or solidify that power in a way in which marginalized communities were brought up to the same equity level that you all had the ability to do. And as James Baldwin says, how long must we wait? And I screamed all that time. If you followed me, I was critical of the Biden administration and how they were bringing along marginalized groups. They got to a point, like, take gay marriage, for instance. They act like that was the only thing that the LGBTQ community needed to feel equity, even at this big point that disproportionately trans people were still being killed. Even with the gay marriage in place, trans people were still disproportionately being killed. And nothing in the administration was doing anything to address that any more than they were doing anything to address missing, murdered, and indigenous women, because they were like, we put an indigenous person in charge of the Department of Interior. They were giving us these symbolic victories that were not leading to lasting equity. And it was showed blatantly. But of course, only some of us were even talking about it because moderates were telling us that we will get to that. We just need time. Well, you had time. And then you showed us that you had the power because in the last 30 days in office, you used the executive orders to accomplish everything you wanted to accomplish in those last 30 days when you were supposed to be a transitional president, and you should have used those same executive powers at the beginning of your administration. And this is why I say that white liberals only get to a place where they are comfortable and everybody else has to wait on their liberation. 10 minutes? I got 10 minutes, GCPR. Um, White people have never been here before. We know, Johnny. What did I miss? What did I just miss? All our governments upon we the people are not even on the table. Now, I don't understand that analogy, Boris, because all our governments are pawns is not an analogy. It's a mixing because government, when you don't allow a government of the people, you're only allowing a government run by a certain sect of people, be it an oligarchy, be it an authoritarian regime, and any of that. But as much as we go back and forth, um, oil boss, you should know that in the end, that if it's not of the people, then it's of the establishment, and the establishment is leaning more in this country towards an oligarchy than it is towards a democracy. Democracy is also one of the easiest ways to hide a lot, because when you deal with such a wide swath of uninformed, unintelligent people being allowed to vote, and if you follow me, you know I don't believe in unrestricted rights to vote, because most people have shown they're stupid. Most people have shown they're stupid, and that's at the worst. And a large swath have shown they don't invest enough to know the facts. And those two make a horrible combination for everybody having the right to vote. Because what you're going to wind up happening is a demagogue, a charismatic individual will come along, and those people won't do research or they don't care about the outcome, and they're just going to vote for somebody that's charismatic, and that is problematic. It's problematic. I love James Baldwin. Y'all know that. Even though he wasn't a revolutionary. Stop it, Steve. I need you to tighten up your stool. We got work to do. 5 minutes, GCPR. Nephew is keeping me on track. So, and I tell people, I don't show up at the with these facts, um, just because I pull them out my ass. I analyze the facts, and I can tell you exactly in history where you can look to and see how this works. Had to switch devices. Jay Jay got me on track while you were switching devices. Jay, is my last video still up? I'm off today, so don't worry about me getting home. Oh, okay. Oh, I just seen that. Is my last video on Gaza still up? Somebody tell me, because I might have to go and write an appeal while we're on, because yeah, they. Let me see. My account ban is still in place, and yes, I have to go write an. I have to submit an appeal because they saying, can you see that video unavailable? Video unavailable to some audiences. And they're saying it contains unsafe conduct. The content contains depiction instructions for and explanations of dangerous stunts by non professionals. Yes, that is what, and I knew that it has nothing to do with my video. They could have said it was a complex topic, like they usually say on my video about Congo, but they said this video contains stunts, and I was just sitting there, talking. I got two warnings on my account. Oh well, I don't care, and I don't care, because I will do this. And then that's why I tell you all, I ask you all, if you really want to get daily updates, follow me to multiple platforms, especially. And I know you're like me, you're like, I don't want to download another app. But if you have YouTube, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Instagram, and I will have outlets. And I don't ask, if you don't have to. I'm not one of those people that are going to come and beg, but if you care about the message I put out and something happens, you can find me on those apps. I don't know. He said the warning on my account for sharing a video that's all over TikTok. Look, I can talk about an issue that's all over TikTok and I will get a warning. If you see this is my account. Try to put it up in a way. Oh, that's a video. Let's go back. Let me see. That's the picture of Jill Scott I just used. Jill Stein. But you see, though, you can see some red letters under my name. That's an account ban warning, and I keep them. They don't fall off in 30 days, because somewhere in that 30 days I do something to keep that. It'll fall off for a day, and then it'll be back on there. What's up, Jason? 2 minute warning as of 45 minutes. Not at 11:15. We got 2 minutes. I have YouTube, so I subscribe to you on that. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Um, Also, like I said, this is what we're doing. Breaking things down for you. I will be breaking things down all week that we come across. Just like I talk about the Sedition Act. But as long as you, Jason, wait a minute. Um, Anytime Read the room, Jason. I'll talk. You can text me about movies, Jason. Anytime that we are um, talking about issues like the Sedition Act or the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, understand if we say nothing and do nothing in the face of that, then what's going to happen is what is going to happen when you all, when they reach back and they say, and people will be saying things like, oh, this could never happen. Whose bingo card was it on that on November the 6th that they thought that in February, March, that Donald Trump will be reaching back to 1798? Who in November of 2024, November the 6th, thought that Donald Trump would be reaching back to 1798 to grab a law? So when I say something, what happens when Donald Trump asks for a review of the Dred Scott decision? And I don't think people have to unalive for this free. I want to know who's prepared to live because, and I've said this before, dying for a cause is easy. I actually think it's easier to die for a cause because you don't have to keep fighting. How many people are willing to fight for liberation? Because dying is, I can reach back through history and show you plenty of people who've died and the needle still hasn't moved. And I can show you people who have as a leader. Yeah, as a leader, I don't think about sending my people on suicide missions. I think about sending them on missions and also getting them home safely. I feel some of you all follow people and they will sacrifice you, but they won't come up. I figure that's bad leadership. I figure if I'm a tacticianist, if the only mission I can think of accomplishing the goal is a mission where everybody dies, I'm not. You shouldn't follow me. Now, don't that doesn't mean people won't die, but if my intent is to send people in a situation where none of them will come back alive, that is poorly planned. And you shouldn't follow people like that. You shouldn't follow people that are ready to accept that you are ready to lay down your life for the cause. You should follow people that say, yeah, you might be ready, but I'm not ready to lose you. So that means I have to be a better statistician and tacticianist. And that is the difference between true revolutionaries, because true revolutionaries want to find a way to get all of us to where we need to be with as less of our blood shed as possible. Because I'll be like, yeah, if you getting out means I have to blow up the building, then so be it. So be it. But it's not about I'm going to allow those who follow me to die and allow the building to still be standing. The objective changes to yes, cause as much damage as we can and get our people out. If that means blowing up the building, then so be it. And I won't lose any sleep at night about whoever died in the building that wasn't out resistance in the first place. All right, GCPR. I am DJ. What's up, DJ? I am getting out. I'm turning it over to you, DJ. And I'm not going to do a 3 hour exit like Olivia's expecting. I'll see you all tomorrow on GCPR at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, as normal, and whatever time period, time zone you are in. I will not be late. You probably will be late. Peace. All right, I am clear of GCPR. All right, thank you, Jay. We got the countdown. No, I'm not saying bye to you all. I was time bye to the radio show. I am off the radio now, so I can say fuck, 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 fuck. I don't know. I think I'm getting better at consciously realizing when I'm on the radio and not. So I try to, because when I come out, I gotta get all the fucks in that I didn't get in while I was on the radio. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Yeah. What's up, Candy Rain? I need GCPR to pay your mods. I need GCR to pay me more. Yeah, I have a better chance of having 2020 vision than him being on time. Jay, you're gonna have a better chance of being beat up through virtually than you're gonna have me being on time too. Keep it up. Drop all the f bombs. Yeah, it's over. The f bombs in full effect. So I know people try to sneak in and say something slick when I'm on the radio. I will cuss you out on the radio too, and just have to be like, all right, take it out my pay, take it out my fees. Now back to the people with the tissues on their ears voting for this shit. So, listen, I watch videos and especially on X, because I troll. I'm a troll. I'm a troll on X. Yes, I be trolling them with facts and laughter. But you'll watch videos on X and people be like, "I didn't vote for this, and I didn't expect this, and we need to do something about this." And I'll be like, "Hey, I'm going out for some milk and cookies. I don't even drink milk, right? Do you want anything back from the store?" Yeah, they be mad. But I also troll them with facts because facts hurt people's feelings, and I'm all into hurting people's feelings. Hi, Unc. How are you? What's up, Mikhail? I haven't seen you in a while. I'm good. I have a better chance of being tall than him being on time. You know what? I'm gonna make you live up to that. I'm gonna make you live up to that tall comment one day. Won't be tomorrow though. It won't be anytime soon, probably. But I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Yeah. Yeah, and when I do, I want to see some tallness. I see that on Instagram too. They be like, anyone wants something from the store, right? And if I when I make videos like that, let me see if I've won my appeal yet on my last video. Hold on. Yeah, no, yeah, no. I gotta check on my nephew too. I gotta check on nephew. See how he is. He's supposed to be getting some rest today. Yeah, I wore him out in Alabama. I wore everybody out that I was with in Alabama. They still recovering. They're still recovering. And if you ever around me physically and we're something like that, understand I'm going to wear you out too. You think I'm intense on here? Wait till you get in person and we're out. And yes, if you travel with me, you got to listen to me. I'm sorry, that's a must, especially if we're in the South and you've never been to the South before. Yes, yes, you must listen to me, or I'm going to round everybody up and keep everybody on a literal leash. Yeah, because I figure if you're with me and you're going somewhere because I invited you there, it's my responsibility to make you sure you get home safely, even if I have to hurt people to do it. So I don't need you wandering off by yourself into crowds of people. Then I got to hurt everybody in the crowd to get to you to make sure you're safe. So you bring it on yourself. So if you can't handle that, I am not the person you should be following. I had a great time this time going with my son. Good, good. I see that on Instagram too. Yeah. So if you ever get a chance, you can ask Metal, you can ask the nephews, you can ask anybody who's ever been to a protest with me. That is my behavior, and I don't make any apologies for it. It just is. Yep. But I also take people. He puts people on trunks too. Yes, I will put you in the trunk. You can ask Jason. I'm the same way. He went in San and when we were in Santa Fe in New Mexico, feeding those who happen to be homeless. Yes, it was my. It was only one person that I was like, get away from me, and took everything out the car and sent them on their way. Because if you don't want to listen, then you're hurting the rest of us because you're not listening to me, and they're going to think that no, I will cut you off. I will cut you off. Also, Oklahoma. That's right, Jason. He was in. Yeah, Jason drove to Oklahoma. Yeah, Jason was. Yeah. Now I don't interfere with your driving, but yeah, once we get on the ground, it's over. It's like, yep, I'm the captain, and everybody else. We need to make sure we get home safely, and we're gonna get home safely because you're gonna listen to me, and you're gonna duck when I say duck. As long as you have my snacks, juice boxes, crayons, and coloring books, I'll behave. Nope, you're gonna have to bang. You're gonna have to bring all that yourself. I have lead. I have lead projectiles with me, and I have blades, and I stay in shape for these things. So you're gonna be responsible for your own crayons, your own snacks, your own juice boxes, and your own coloring books. And you can do all that as I fight. I like to fight. Yes, I like to fight. The ancestors built me to like fighting, and I like fighting, and blood does not bother me. Other people's blood does not bother me. So I'll bring the 45. Yeah, Steve. See, yeah. We can rock. We can stand, and then we will stand back to back, and somehow we'll manage to put everybody between us, and we will get out. The only place I haven't been is to Philadelphia, where the move, Operation Move, 1985. Yes, yes, the second time an American community was bombed. Yes, the second time. The first time, of course, was at Tulsa, and just just think, the first time that an American community was bombed on U.S. soil by U.S. was in Tulsa during the Tulsa massacre. And the second time it happened, they used helicopters on Operation Move. Hmm. The synchronicity, two black communities. Yeah, two black communities. So it is what it is. And I would tell you that history is history, and we need to start realizing that and accepting it in no uncertain terms. Like I say, stop telling me about money when at the end of the day, if it was about just money, poor white people wouldn't be racist. Poor white people would not be racist if it was just about money. If it was just about classism, poor white people wouldn't be racist. Racism is a way to keep the faces at the bottom of the well. And I know people think that if it was just about money, LeBron James, Oprah, Johnson would not be subject to racism. They would. If it was just about money, then the the playing field would be equitable. I remember that bombing. I believe it was in Philadelphia where they did that to innocent. Yes, innocent black people, not blacks. Goddess, black people. Always remember to put people in there, because at the end of the day, blacks, just like niggers, is what they were called to dehumanize them. Black people. Yes, Operation Move. And we are not going to engage in the dehumanizing of ourselves. That's why I'm not an African American, because an African American is an oxymoron. And Toni Morrison taught us that. In America, America means white, everybody else hyphenates. And in that case, you're hyphenating me with the idea that somehow, of the numerous countries in Africa, you can't narrow down my origin, so you make me an oxymoron of a African American. 52 versus 1. Make it make sense. No, I'm a black man in America. So that is the reality of it. Because white means American. Everybody else hyphenates. I'm black. Me. I don't mean so no African American. I don't know what they. I know where they get it. I know where they get it, because, like I say, America means white. Everybody else hyphenates. Not my goddaughter trying to eat hustle outside my door, ear hustle outside my door, talking about where I moved in. And they came up with a new name every 10 years. It's not the new name, it's the idea that moderate black people always want to do this. Like, say they I'd have to get on. I get on older black people when they say blacks, and I tell them the same thing. Why are you all embodying our non-humanization? I am a black man. I am not a blacks. Yeah, I'm not a blacks. And I hear that in the South. You hear it a lot too. They say blacks. I'm like, I just be looking around. Are we smoking a black and mild or something? I'm a black man. I am a black person. I am a black. Black is an adjective in that case. It is not a noun. And to use it as a noun means you're dehumanizing, because then you have a justification for not seeing us as people. I make you say people. I make you say man, because I'm not answering to anything else. I'm going to make you say it, because um, that's what we do. Yeah, Black and Mild. Right. Yeah. I'm a man, not a cause. I'm gonna say this. I can be a cause. I can be the cause of someone going to the hospital. I can be a cause, Steve. We can be causes. Yeah, but just not in the sense that they think. Yeah, we can be a cause. Yeah. I I'll be happy. There are a lot of races in Mississippi that will tell you they don't like T. Nathan because he's a cause. He's a cause. Yes. Yes. When the governor of Mississippi knows you personally and doesn't like you, yeah, you're a cause. Yeah, you're a cause. All right, you all. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you all later tomorrow. Y'all get some rest. Spring break. How many have crumb snatchers home for spring break? Y'all have y'all started spring break yet? Because we know spring break is a whole new. Yeah, not yet. When does spring break start for you, sis? Why don't take your folding chair to the why didn't you take your folding chair to the Mississippi boat? That was in Alabama. That was in Alabama. I was in Alabama when I went to where August the August liberation fight started in Alabama. Mine's over or grown and gone. Next, I think I'll text you. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Listen, I'm gonna tell you why I didn't take a folding chair. But trust me, I had something that would fold all right. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Yeah, I had some folding material with me. All right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I need something that does multiple folding. Yeah. Yeah. Folding chair. I had two things that would. Let me tell you real quick. This is the funny part. So if you know me, I carry this with me everywhere, right? Everywhere I go, I carry this. My boxing gloves, my gloves are here, and I have this. I put my phone in here and everything. It is amazing how many. I went to the courthouse when I was with Maxine Waters, and we went to the courthouse, and I had to literally take this off and pass it to somebody and ask them to take it to the car because they got metal detectors in the courthouse, right? And then I walk into the courthouse and the woman tells me just to put stuff on and push it through and didn't even search me. I was like, I'm looking sideways now because I'm like, maybe, maybe. And I was like, who else in here got through this and knew it was coming like this? And now I have to check with people around me and say, hey, I'm an ace. I'm a good shot. If just in case you need to know, in case I'm a good shot. So yeah, you probably would have hit somebody. I could do that too. Oh, yeah, I could hit somebody with it also. Yeah, I could do that. But like, but it's also a thing in there because people who I don't know if you know this. I'll share this with you before I go. I don't know if you know, but in close combat situations, one is better than the other. One is better than the other. That's why I carry close combat and long range combat. Put on your shiesty and make it happen. Steve, get out of my bag. Get out of my bag, Steve. All right, get out of my bag. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Steve, all up in my bag, telling my tricks. Yep, I carry one just like and be ready for anything. Be ready for anything. You see the gloves? Yeah. One is better than the other. One for close up proximity. I know a little something about that. Right. Right, Steve. It is not. I'm gonna tell you. I don't even think it's for me. It doesn't even seem heavy. As a matter of fact, if it seemed too light, that's how I know I'm missing something. All right, you all. Y'all have a beautiful night. Y'all be safe. And remember, women, trust your intuition. And always remember, my people, in marginalized community, it is better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. But even that way, you're more likely to get out of it if you think it through. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Y'all have a good one. Be safe. Shoot first. And don't ask any questions afterwards unless there are, where am I going to bury this body? Or pieces of the body. Or whatever's left. All right. Remember, nobody, no crime. All right, you all take it. And as soon as any information becomes available on the two young black men that disappeared and that were killed, Quindex and his brother Nasheed, any information that becomes available on that, as it becomes available, we will talk about it. But I'm not going to put out subjector at this point because I don't think that helps our community. All right. Because you notice that when they put out misinformation or they put out information that is provenly false, a lot of these content creators, they never walk it back. They never say, they never apologize. I'm not one of those creators. I put out facts and then we deal with the facts. All right.